Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to a special one-hour edition of BUTV News. I'm Nolan Bullman.
And I'm Megan Ruger-Smith. Let's take a look at the news.
Last night, students gathered in front of Bradley Hall to protest drunk driving and commemorate the lives that were lost in a recent accident. Reporting Maggie Goff has more.
On Tuesday, April 26th, students gathered outside Bradley Hall to protest drunk driving and commemorate lives lost from a recent accident involving a Bradley student who drove under the influence. Not only did students commemorate the lives of those who were lost in the accident, students also protested and begged for the university to respond to their decision to allow Stephanie Malgoza to graduate with the rest of the senior class.
More than just a number, they're more than just a death. They are a person and they have a family.
Students who spoke at the protest stressed to all in attendance that the lives of Andrea Rosewitz and Paul Prowant are more than just a statistic. Liliana Garcia, the organizer of the event, wants students to understand that although they are only in Peoria for 4 years, they are still a part of the community, and their actions have consequences.
Oh yeah, like outside, not even just our community, but like not just Bradley, but outside to show that we care, that we make an impact on society, and we know, yeah, technically we're here for 4 years, but what we do can impact the community as a whole, long term.
Student body president David Day was also in attendance. He shared with students that it is never worth it to drive under the influence.
But this incident as a whole, let it serve as a reminder that there is no moment, there is no situation, there is no circumstance, there is no place, there is no time where it is worth it to drive drunk.
If you are interested in donating to end drunk driving, the family of Paul Prowant urges you to donate to Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For more information, you can visit madd.org. For BUTV News, I'm Maggie Goff.
Notice anything new on the Alumni Quad? Bradley's National Pan-Hellenic Council and multicultural organizations hosted their plot dedication ceremony last Saturday.
On Saturday, April 23rd, Bradley University's National Pan-Hellenic Council and multicultural Greek organizations held their plot dedication ceremony. Charles Myers, past NPHC president, spoke about how these organizations affect Bradley's campus.
Our chapters pride ourselves in scholarship, serving the community, and creating a culturally relevant and safe environment for students of color on this campus. Creating a safe environment means fighting for more representation and inclusion at a predominantly white institution.
The event had students, Peoria locals, and Bradley alumni in attendance, as the weekend was also Bradley Black Alumni Alliance's reunion. Also in attendance was Dr. Stephen Staniford, the president of Bradley, highlighting how NPHC and MGO organizations support and provide community for students at Bradley.
Have been and continue to be pillars in supporting students socially, emotionally, academically, and really in laying the groundwork for community and providing unwavering bonds.
The plot dedication meant a lot to both collegiate and alumni members, as many of the alumni have tried to gain plots on Bradley's campus in the past. This final speaker of the event, Bradley Black Alumni Alliance's Vice President, Stacy Rose, spoke about what the plots mean to the alumni.
This is clearly representation that we are not only on campus, but we are seen as a positive place in this campus.
You can go see the National Pan-Hellenic Council and multicultural Greek organizations plots on the Alumni Quad. For BUTV News, I'm Madison Pratt.
Public Relations capstone course Com 480 has given students the opportunity to develop their own PR agency and pursue real-world activities that deserves the attention of an official campaign. Members of the KLS agency have developed a campaign they are calling Join the Groovement. The Groovement is an effort to reach out to Bradley students through a shared interest in music to bring attention to civic responsibilities. The overall goal of the campaign is to help students become registered voters and assist them in making educated decisions when it comes to civic engagement.
Join the Groovement to vote, to register to vote, because it's very important that you do that, whether it just be the presidential elections, local elections, whatnot. You need to do your part and make your voice be heard.
Be sure to keep an eye out for the Groovement in the future as this PR campaign continues to evolve outside the classroom and aims to become a self-sustaining student organization.
The Women's Club soccer team held a fundraiser in the Student Center this past Monday. The team sold cookies, Rice Krispie treats, and even t-shirts to raise money for the organization. The team is raising money so they can attend more games and tournaments. If you are interested in learning more about the Women's Club soccer team at Bradley, you can follow them on Instagram at Bradley_W Soccer. The Bradley Communications Department has hosted many speakers throughout the year, a series called Com Connect. On March 31st, one of Bradley's own professors spoke about his latest work.
At the Com Connect, held on Thursday, March 31st, Dr. Stephen Banning discussed his new book, Journalism Standards of Work Today. The book discusses journalism ethics within industrial revolutions.
It's about journalism ethics and whether we want them today, and most people do, but we don't know how to find them with the social media and everything else. I looked back at what they did at the first industrial revolution and the ethics they had there and tried to see if we could use them today. And it turns out we can. The same things that they were looking for in that industrial revolution was what we are looking for in the social media revolution.
The event was hosted as a conversation with questions being asked throughout the evening. One of the things Dr. Banning wants students to know is how journalism research can affect change in the world.
It's not just an assignment or something theoretical, but it actually helps people live their life. I did one paper and it caused a journalism organization of writers to adopt a code of ethics for the first time.
Journalists and consumers still need the same ideas as they did in the first industrial revolution. Truth-telling, accuracy, and identity are still very important today.
Truth-telling and accuracy, and I think a little bit of identity to know who is saying certain things. Just seeing things on the internet, we don't want to just believe it.
You can buy Dr. Banning's book now at your favorite bookstore. For BUTV News, I'm Madison Pratt.
Brave Sounds and the Women and Gender Studies Department hosted their first ever Gender Justice Poetry Night in the Student Center Ballroom.
Brave Sounds has opened the mic up to anyone who has a desire to be heard. Students were given the freedom to talk about any subject that held a special place in their heart. They are able to feel free to write an original piece or share a poem that has already been published.
I just like how poetry sounds, and then rhyming things, saying things. It's just beautiful. And it doesn't have to sound beautiful, but if you got something to say, that's all poetry is.
Bradley student M.D. Bloss is new to sharing his poetry in front of large crowds. Although he realized that he has stuff to say and he wants others to hear it. And hopefully it will resonate with them. That night he shared a piece that he had written entitled Identity.
Ignorance is not an amenity. You just choose not to see my identity.
My poetry is called Identity. And it's basically me just dissing my dad, my family for not accepting who I am, and for as simple as wanting my hair long.
Brave Sounds will have more events for the upcoming school year, but until then, for BUTV News, I've been Mark Milewski.
Coming up, a look at the weather and to see if spring is here to stay.
And later, Alec has some entertainment news updates.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
When you want to talk, I'm here.
Roll over. Chant 5-5. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Weather to get you to finals week, along with more rain on the way. I'm Jake Buds, and let's start today's forecast with a look at what campus is looking like. So currently on campus, you can see that the trees are turning green, the bushes are turning green, and the grass, you heard it, is turning green. Overall, campus is looking really nice for spring, and soon enough, it's going to turn into summer. You can see also a lot of tulips and flowers are blooming across campus with a couple of clear skies with a little bit of clouds in the air. Now going over to our forecast map. This afternoon it's warmer than earlier today and can see partially cloudy skies. We can expect a temp drop, bringing more winds into the area with wind speeds reaching as high as 24 miles per hour. Now, as you can see right now, we have some good cloud coverage, and the winds are going to be coming from the south going up to the north. Now, moving on to our temp map here in Peoria, we're sitting at a comfortable 61 degrees as of right now. As night falls, we're going to see the temp drop to around 41 degrees, but more warmth is on the way. Now on to our 5-day forecast. A rainy weekend can be seen ahead of us, bringing Thursday afternoon and stretching into Sunday morning. These storms will be bringing high winds, scattered showers, and the possible thunderstorm on Saturday. The high of the week will be seen on Saturday at 71 degrees, with the low being seen tonight at 41 degrees. These warmer temps will lead the way into finals week, so be sure to go outside and get your study break to enjoy the fresh air. Summer is here, so study hard and finish the semester strong. Now it's time for your entertainment news with Alec Brandt.
What if I were to say you were traveling through multiple dimensions not only of sight and sound but of mind, a journey to wondrous lands whose boundaries are that of the imagination? This is Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Although the trailer was released 2 months ago, Marvel announces a new entry into the Doctor Strange movies, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. This movie will replace Benedict Cumberbatch as Dr. Stephen Strange, a legendary wizard, as he travels through multiple universes to defeat a nefarious foe. Who, you might ask? Well, we don't know. The trailer didn't really elaborate, so my guess is on the evil Doctor Strange clone. The movie plans on being released in theaters on May 6th this year. Go check it out and get magical. This next story I was really shocked by. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers is getting its own live-action movie. Well, kind of. Even though it takes place in the real world with real people, those people also live alongside cartoon characters, Roger Rabbit style. The movie stars Chip and Dale as they have separated from each other over the years and after their show has got canceled, and have to work together again to solve the mystery of a former castmate who disappears. There's going to be a bunch of celebrity cameos, as well as along with Dale being animated CGI style, while Chip is just regularly animated. I don't even know. It's going to be a strange one, let me tell you. The movie plans on streaming May 20th on Disney+. If you have been paying attention for the last month, a lot of cute bunnies have been appearing around Bradley's campus recently. In fact, I've seen a lot more bunnies than squirrels, which leads us to think there can only be one good explanation for this. Bunnies are trying to take over Bradley's campus, and they're kicking the famous Bradley squirrels out to do so. But the squirrels can't have that. So I feel a squirrel-bunny war is about to unfold under our noses. So that begs the question, who is better, squirrels or bunnies? I guess we'll find out soon enough. So Jake, what do you like better, squirrels or bunnies?
Personally, Alec, I'm on team squirrels all the way. The bunnies have been eradicating the area, and I'm not with it. No?
I think bunnies are the underdog, so I picked them.
Interesting. Well, stay tuned for the interview with one of Bradley's PR capstone groups.
Later, an inside look on a professor that has been at Bradley for over 25 years.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
So good to see you guys.
guys. So, what's up?
We finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
With the end of the semester approaching, students are finishing up their senior capstone projects before they graduate.
One public relations group has been hard at work. Reporter Olivia Clausen has more.
Carly Craig is one of the 3 members involved in a PR campaign about sex trafficking. The 3 women are using a podcast to reach listeners across central Illinois to teach them about sex trafficking. Thank you so much for joining us, Carly. How are you today?
I am good. How about you?
I'm wonderful. Well, let's get started. Can you give us a short rundown of what the Capstone Project is?
Yeah, absolutely. So the PR Capstone, it is a part of the PR major. Every single senior has to take the class, and basically you are tasked with tackling a topic that is prevalent in the central Illinois area, Peoria area more specifically, and you're basically just going to have to find something that is happening in the area and being able to connect a nonprofit organization with a for-profit organization and being able to decide how you want to go about it, whether it be raising awareness, solving the issue, however that might mean, how that comes about in your PR Capstone project.
I see. How did you decide to use a podcast of all forms of media?
Yeah, so it kind of just came down, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to pick for our topic, and we were going through a lot of different ones, and our class has a very wide variety of them. And once we kind of landed on sex trafficking, we kind of knew we wanted to raise awareness. And there's a lot of different things that people do for sex trafficking, trying to raise awareness and getting training, but there's not a lot of modern mediums that you will see this in, because not a lot of people think of sex trafficking as a topic that takes place in central Illinois, or even that it could happen in your backyard, when in reality it's actually very present and it's a really big topic and issue within our community. And so we wanted to be able to reach out to local business owners, because with a lot of these larger corporations, they already have some form of sex trafficking training in place. But with a lot of these local businesses, they just don't, because they don't think of it being something prevalent in their area. So we wanted to be able to give them some kind of modern medium in order for them to be able to listen to this and be able to discuss with their coworkers, and then also hopefully take along with our partners like Center for Prevention of Abuse and Grounds of Grace, and being able to find training going forward every year with them. And so with the podcast, it's just kind of that starting point and a place where they can start the conversation.
I see, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what have you talked about on your podcast?
Oh my goodness, we've talked about a lot. So we have covered wide range of topics, everything from what is sex trafficking and what that looks like in today's society. Because I know for me, I was thinking, oh, this must be like Taken or something, like it's this crazy, extravagant type of like crime. But in actuality, it can be as simple as a parent trafficking a child, or boyfriending and girlfriending, where the significant other is trafficking their significant other. And it can look like so many different things today. So we talk about what that might look like, red flags and hot spots. And we actually were very fortunate to have a survivor come on and tell their story. And we also were able to have a buyer come on, a previous buyer come on and tell their story as well. So we've covered a lot of different things, and there are still more episodes in the works.
Well, you ladies are doing an absolutely fantastic job, and I'm very excited to see how this progresses. This is unfortunately all the time we have for tonight. Thank you again for taking the time to join us and educate us about what you guys are doing. You can listen to their podcast on Spotify, By the Minute, or follow them on their Instagram at By the Minute Pod, or visit the link tree in their Instagram bio. Live from Owen Hall, I'm Olivia Clausen.
Thanks, Olivia. With the Fuse user experience coming up this weekend, Marlon Lee interviewed the production team of Fuse, and they shared their experiences on being a part of this project.
My name is Maddox Knight-Binder. I am a junior user experience design and psychology double major, and I am the student executive producer of this year's Fuse event.
Hi, I'm Haley Fetting. I'm a user experience design major, and I am the art director for Fuse this year.
Being the executive producer entails a lot of things. It goes everywhere from planning out the event to the exact physical space, to what goes on the website, to all of the promotional details. Everything that goes into making Fuse happen is basically under my purview at the moment.
In my art director role, I am leading a team of artists to design the branding, the print, and all of the website assets for Fuse this year.
Being part of the Fuse production team, it's basically helped me understand what we do as the department as a whole. I get to see all of the majors and see all of their work that they put in actually be used for different projects and whatnot.
It's definitely different because as an art director for Fuse, I am working on a team of artists and I'm leading the team of artists, kind of making sure that they stay on track of things, kind of just letting them know what goals we have to meet, what assets we need by certain times.
In my previous leadership positions, I've always had someone like just above me that I could kind of reference, which I still kind of do with Professor Young. He is the faculty manager of this. But he has a very big philosophy in which he wants us as the students to make it our own and produce it because he believes it's our show.
Has helped me understand, I guess, what it is to be part of a team in this field, which I've never really had experience in, and it's nice to see in that.
The Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity hosted its annual St. Baldrick's event where members shaved their heads to raise awareness for childhood cancer. Each fraternity brother raised money as a way of a friendly competition between brothers for St. Baldrick's Foundation. Those who raised the most were the first to sit for the Clippers. Many of them have friends or family who are struggling with cancer.
For me, it means a lot, especially for this chapter too, because a lot of my brothers in this chapter have family members that do have cancer, and I just really want to show them that they're not by themselves, and we want to shave their heads with them as well, just to have solidarity with them.
Sit down.
A member's father even offered up his head, and the fundraiser ended up raising over $5,000.
Someone you should know is a history professor who has been teaching here at Bradley University for nearly 25 years.
John Williams is a history professor who has worked at Bradley University for nearly 25 years. Starting in 1997, he specializes in European and Western history.
I'm a European historian, so I teach basically modern Europe, which to us means really since the Renaissance. So I like teaching kind of in-depth survey courses, the Renaissance, 19th century Europe, 20th century Europe.
Professor Williams uses his love for film to complement his history lessons, often showing relevant historical films in class to dissect and relate back to the lesson.
So I'm doing a lot of different kind of things, and the good thing about our department, you know, at least from my perspective, is that it's small, and that means I get to do more than just what I was specifically specializing in grad school. So I get to have gotten to branch out some and build my interests and the diversity of my teaching, you know.
His flexibility allows him to make his classes as engaging as possible. For BUTV News, I'm Jacob Harvey.
Next, I'm back with lots of news in Bradley sports.
And stay tuned for another exciting and very informational live interview.
For too long, there's been too much silence.
We've stepped back when we should have stepped up.
We lack the bravery to have the tough conversations.
It stops now.
It stopped with us.
As campus leaders, we recognize that sexual assault is a real problem.
And it's time to take action.
We're standing together as a community because this issue affects all of us.
And we can only end it if we are braver together.
Starting now, we don't look the other way. We make it a move and do something.
Before it's too late.
We promote a culture of respect for all students.
We say something even when it's easier to remain silent.
We stand up for survivors.
We never blame them.
We hold our friends, our leaders, our teammates,
and ourselves accountable. for our actions.
And when we see something wrong, we're brave enough to interrupt. We say something.
We do something. We watch out for each other.
Always.
Being a Bradley Brave means
Ending the silence.
Together, we can work to end sexual assault and rape culture in our community.
together we can do the right thing.
Together, we can do the brave thing. Make your move and stand with us.
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 And we can all be braver together.
Welcome back to BUTV, and here are your sports. Over the weekend, softball held a 3-game series against Evansville, including a doubleheader on Saturday. After coming off a loss to Illinois State, the Braves looked to start Game 1 against the Purple Aces with a full head of steam. Claiming that the Braves are dominant in Game 1 would be an understatement. Senior Cameron Montier makes excellent contact with a check swing, but blazes away to first and avoids a potential collision at the bag just in time for an infield single. Fans witness pure chaos as senior Keeler Van Breusingen bloops one down the right field line, good enough for a drive-in fellow senior Grace French, and trailing right behind her is freshman Abbott Badgley for an RBI triple. Mercy rule will be called in the 5th, giving Bradley a 10-1 victory. While Bradley crushed their opposition in Game 1 of the doubleheader, they would unfortunately drop Game 2 with a 3-7 score. Bradley strived to win the series the following day, but would drop that game as well with a 3-6 final. The Braves sit one game above 500 and aim to claim a series win against Illinois State as we speak. After defeating Northern Iowa 4-2 in the first round of the Missouri Valley Championship, tennis then got shut out by Illinois State in the semifinals on Saturday. Despite the tough loss, progress was certainly made on the season, as for the first time in program history, the program piled up their 4th straight double-digit win season. Along with overall team achievements, there was no shortage of individual achievements for tennis as well. The lethal duos of junior Bojana Loiper and Nikki Perlwitz ended their season by tying the school's record of 43 doubles wins. Both athletes got Missouri Valley recognition as Perlwitz earned all-conference number 6 singles honors, while Loiper and freshman Kirsten Haley earned conference all-select honors as well. Day 1 of the Illini Invite started with a bang as junior Hannah Ivy broke Bradley's track and field's 200-meter record with a time of 24.69 seconds. Ivy is certainly no stranger to breaking records, as she also broke the 400-meter record and is part of the 4x400-meter record, all of which were taking place within this past month. Along with Ivy, freshman Shay Fuller collected the program records at the Illini Invite as well, this time on day 2. Fuller won up to herself for the second consecutive week with a new program best 37 feet and 9 1/4 inches. Fuller now not only possesses the outdoor triple jump record, but she owns the indoor triple jump record with 36 feet and 7 3/4 of an inch as well. Fuller and the Braves will hope for continued success as the Drake Relays and Sycamore Open loom this weekend. With women's golf finishing 4th at the Missouri Valley Championship Tournament and their season ending, 2 Braves left with awards, as senior Megan Welch was named an all-conference selection and freshman Maria Parakis was named the conference newcomer of the year as well. Welch led the team this season with a 76.24 stroke average, while Parakis' 76.52 stroke average was the best among all conference freshmen. Together, both athletes are only ones on the team to earn individual top 10 finish on the year, as Welch had 4 of them, while Parakis had just 2. On the other hand, men's golf concluded their season yesterday by finishing 8th in the Missouri Valley Championship. Bradley wound up with a score of 932, but were just 3 shots out of 6, with Evansville scoring 929. Junior Roy Radke led all of Bradley by just sneaking his way onto the first top 10 overall finish for him on the season by tying for 10th at the championship with 8 over 4.224. Baseball had their weekend consist of a series against Illinois State, and they conquered their arch rival by beating the Redbirds on the series 2-1. Bradley won the first game 3-1 thanks to an 8th inning go-ahead home run by sophomore Carson Huseman. Game 2 was not as pretty with a 3-9 blowout loss, but the Braves would get revenge in Game 3 with a dominant 8-2 victory. The team now squares off against their second different Big Ten opponent this season and is taking on the University of Illinois as we speak. Finally, Despite it being their offseason, men's basketball received significant news with the transfer addition of Sun Belt Conference Freshman of the Year, Cody Duke Dean. Coming from Troy University, Dean averaged 9 points and 3.2 assists per game last season. More importantly, the guard was a key factor in Troy's 9-win improvement from the previous year and will look to ensure similar improvements here on the Hilltop. Well, that is all for sports. Later, a musical performance by Holden Kellogg. Go Braves!
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up 1 finger if you're a man, women 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
Some of BUTV's junior reporters have gone out to campus to find some organizations you should care about. First, a feature on Bradley Corral.
Music has been a big factor in bringing everyone together and has been an art form for everybody to enjoy, from singing in the shower to singing on stage at Carnegie Hall. The Bradley Corral bands together in this very room every day to share their love of music. The Bradley Corral recently had their concert at St. Mark's called Finding Clarity, focused on gaining a purpose after the pandemic. The Corral is made up of music majors, a long majority who major in fields other than music, including Emma Hoytia, a member of Corral's executive board.
We all care so much, every single person. There's not one person, I think, in our choir that isn't 100% invested in the mission of it all. And then because of that, we also just are such a family, as cliche as it sounds.
The Bradley Corral consists of 35 members, directed by the brilliant Dr. Corey Bolton and accompanied by the wonderful Dr. Elizabeth Krucka. The Finding Clarity concert had a total of 13 pieces, including a piece titled Half Acre. The piece has a lot of sentimental value to the chorale.
So I thought that would be such a wonderful gift. And I wanted to bring, one of the pieces we did was Half Acre. We never got to perform that before the pandemic. And so that is about trying to find that clarity, find that home, find that space. And so that was sort of the focal point of the program. And then I found all the other pieces to sort of work around that.
Dr. Bolton has been with the Bradley Corral for a total of 4 years and has created an atmosphere within the choir unlike any other. Through conducting and analyzing pieces, she's able to become a vessel for the chorale to truly express their voices.
I love when students get the look on their face like that was it. You know, you work and work and work and work, and then now, of course, with masks off too, I can see your whole face. And the moments when we're going and then something amazing happens and you see everybody's face just like, it's just an amazing moment for a teacher to be able to facilitate something like that.
For BUTV News, I'm Jake Buds.
Bradley's Heat is an organization that promotes wellness and safety around campus. Reporter Terry Silva has more.
Navigating college can be difficult, especially when it comes to being in the loop about health and safety. That's why the Bradley Heat do their part to educate students on topics like substance abuse and sexual health. Amanda Allgaier is one student who's getting involved with their campus events.
I think the biggest event that we do on campus is our Wellness Wednesday tabling, where we pick a topic and we decide to educate campus about it. We recently did a kind of like DUI testing where we had people put on drunk goggles and try to do tasks.
And the dangers of substance abuse specifically is one issue Algar hopes to spread more awareness about.
A lot of substance abuse does happen on campus, and I think that's a very important topic to educate about, just because a lot of colleges just kind of ignore that and don't really try to give students the help they need with that.
Peer educator Ash Prince also shares the issues she's noticed on campus from the perspective of a Greek life member.
I first found out about the program because part of orientation for Greek life was a speaker about alcohol and sexual assault. It's something that is starting to be talked about more and unfortunately is becoming a problem on campus. Also alcohol, because a lot of the times alcohol does go in conjunction.
However, it can be a challenge for Prince and the team to engage with students on tough topics such as these.
A lot of the subjects we talk about sometimes can be uncomfortable. Mental health is definitely something we're talking about more, so just learning how to talk to people, talking about those uncomfortable things, but not making someone uncomfortable in those conversations.
As students continue to make decisions every day regarding their personal health and safety, the Bradley Heat encourages them to keep themselves and others informed. For BUTV News, I'm Terry Silva.
Do you love K-pop music? Then maybe joining K18 is for you.
K18 is a K-pop dance group on Bradley's campus. We caught up with Grace Snow, a junior computer science major and the current leader of K18.
We meet every Saturday and Sunday. For Saturday practices, we meet from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And on Sundays, we meet from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And it is in the upstairs dance practice room at Markin. We do K-pop performances here on campus, hang out, do dances, and all that good stuff.
K-pop grew in popularity in the U.S. after groups such as BTS entered the mainstream market. There are other dance groups on Bradley's campus, but none of them covered this new style until K18 got their start.
From the group starting in 2018 by, I think, just like 3 friends who wanted to make a dance group, but specifically for K-pop because they feel like it's not represented as much, and so they decided to do that, and it has been around ever since.
MJ is a freshman performance theater major who joined K18 after attending the activities fair.
I heard the music from like far away and I was like, I gotta follow it. So I followed it and then I found the table and she was telling me about Hallyu Club and then she was like, there's also K18, a dance group, and I said, I gotta get on that.
Joining any new group or club can be intimidating, especially for a group centered around dance. Some of the members have dance experience, but it's not required.
If you come in and you're doing your absolute best, then we're gonna hype you up for it. You'll hear us screaming for you anyway. So you'll be completely fine. There's no auditions. You just kind of come in, you vibe with us, we dance. It's all great.
K18 had their last performance in November of 2021, and they're looking forward to showcasing all of their recent hard work for their upcoming performance.
And then our upcoming performance is actually on April 1st, 2022. We are going to be performing at Dingledine for the spring concert.
The spring concert starts at 7:30 p.m. on Friday. We hope to see a large crowd, and with BUTV News, I'm Alexi Meyer.
After the break, some highlights from the music department.
And later, another check at the weather.
Awkward. Do I look familiar? I should. You might remember me from here. Here. Or maybe even here.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
It can actually be a perfect moment to reach out to a friend and ask if they're okay if they seem down.
It doesn't matter how you say it. You all right?
Everything's okay?
All G?
You all right, girl?
You cool?
You
bugging dog.
Just show you're there for them.
Go on, Kelly. Seize the awkward.
Hey, you haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
There's more to the biology department than what the eye meets.
Undergraduate and graduate students have the opportunity to partake in research under professors in the department. Let's check back in with Olivia Clausen for more.
Dr. Craig Cady is one of the many professors in the biology department who conducts different research with students in the department. He is currently working on a big research project about nanofibers and stem cells. Welcome, Dr. Cady. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. So tell us, how long have you worked with student researchers?
A long time, over 10 years.
Wow. How has that been?
It's been exciting. A lot of students at undergraduate level, I wasn't sure they'd be capable of doing really high-level research, but they are. I've been pleasantly surprised.
What has been your favorite part about working with them?
I guess seeing the success. A lot of my students go on and become physicians and PhDs, graduate researchers, and it's a really gratifying job. I enjoy it.
I can imagine. Can you give us a sort of rundown on what research is like, hands-on with the students?
Yeah, hands-on is really terrific. We have a new grant from NASA, and we're looking at how ovarian cancer cells become more aggressive in space. And this is a new project. We just got that funded. And then the other big project we have, we're looking at producing an artificial lung that's implantable. And we're looking at nanomaterials and putting stem cells on nanomaterials to prevent a response by the patient, an immune response.
Well, congratulations. That sounds so exciting. To anyone who may not have just understood what you said, maybe doesn't have a science background, could you maybe explain that a little bit more?
I'd be very happy to. For the nanomaterial project, a lot of patients who are waiting for lung transplants wait a long time and don't survive that long wait. So a colleague of mine is a cardiothoracic surgeon, and he designed an internal plantable lung. And we're doing the nanomaterial side of it, coating it with stem cells to allow the patient to allow them to be very safe with the stem cells and the nanomaterial lung. The NASA side, long-term space travel, we don't know much about it, and we don't know how it affects cancer cells. And we're afraid that cancer cells may become more aggressive in space, so we're doing research in that. That's the NASA-funded research.
See, well, congratulations on getting funded with that.
Thank you.
Are there any other researchers that you're working with?
We're working with changing brain cells from stem cells to brain cells on special nanomaterial, and we're lucky we can make our own nanomaterial in our lab. So I have a student who specializes in making nanomaterial, and then we take stem cells and we treat them in a special way, and they become brain cells. And it's very exciting. We're going to work with Parkinson's patients, looking at replacing the cells that die in the brain in Parkinson's disease. So that's another big project.
How many students on average do you get to work with for these projects?
I have 7, and I have also a graduate student who's working on the implantable lung project. So it's a very busy lab.
Oh my goodness, yes, I could see. Now, you did say that as soon as we walked in that this was the cleanest air that Bradley has on campus.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, everything's filtered. HEPA filter, the air is super clean, and it has to be because we grow cells in here, and any fungus or bacteria contaminates the cells, so we have to be very, very careful.
I see, that makes sense. Well, if any interested biology students want to get in touch with you, what would you have to say to them?
I would tell them that it's exciting work. It's demanding. These students are full-time students. Some of them have jobs, and they spend their free time in the lab. So they have a passion. You have to have a passion for it to do it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. That is all the time we have for. I wish you and your students the best of luck with the rest of your research. If you are interested in the research, you can get in contact with the biology department. Live from the Bolander Stem Cell Research Laboratory, I'm Olivia Clausen.
Thank you, Olivia. Many concerts have been held over the past few weeks, and we have a segment to highlight them all. Earlier this month, violin player Stephanie Cannon performed her senior recital.
Senior Stephanie Cannon performed her student recital, playing violin with some assistance on piano, earlier this month at Dingledine Music Center.
Usually you pick a date and start preparing repertoire a year in advance, and it depends what the requirements are depending on what your major is. I'm a violin performance major, so I had to have repertoire from the Baroque era, classical era, Romantic era. and so that helped me choose which pieces to play.
Her performance branched to many different genres and famous and renowned composers, including Bach, Beethoven, Johannes Brahms, and more. Stephanie expressed how the selection process works for choosing which pieces to play for her performance.
Part of it had to do with picking like a Baroque piece and a classical piece and a romantic piece, but each one of them, several of them I just found and I loved them and I felt like I just had to play them because they really reached me in a certain way. And other ones my teacher helped pick, but I've grown to love all of them equally, and they're like old friends now.
Student recitals like Stephanie's are a great way for students to show off the 4 years of hard work they put into mastering an instrument. For BUTV News, I'm Jacob Harvey.
Bradley hosted the first honor band concert since 2019 in the Dingledine Music Center last night, and reporter David Blank has more.
This was the 31st Bradley Honor Band concert, and 90 students from 36 Central Illinois high schools were selected to play based on their individual musical achievements.
So it's been 3 years since the event took place, so 2 were canceled. But we also tied it into, we had some guests come and stay with us and work with the college students as well as the high school students.
The guests in question were Alex Isaacson, a composer and pianist, and Dario Sotelo, a composer and conductor from Sao Paulo, Brazil. When I asked Dr. Brown why he chose for these individuals to work with his students, he had his own unique reasoning.
If I care about people like I care about my students, I want to share something special with them, not just something flippant. You know, I could hire some really hoity-toity or well-known person, like with a name that everybody's going to know. But instead, I would rather work with people who are good people and that I trust. And so that's why I worked with these two.
The event was not just a sharing of talents from different schools and institutions, but also a chance for these Central Illinois high schoolers and Bradley band members to work with different cultures' music and engage with the process from that unique point of view. For BUTV News, I'm David Blank.
Also earlier this month, music and entertainment industry students held a concert in Dingledine.
On Friday, April 1st, students studying the music and entertainment industry held a concert at Dingledine Music Hall. The concert consisted of many different performances, mostly by students, including traditional Irish music, a K-pop inspired dance routine, folk music, and many other acts. Matthew Miller, the producer of this event, is hopeful that the event will be an annual experience for students and local artists to showcase their talents.
I mean, it just gives students the opportunity to perform in front of a crowd. We have so many talented students who don't really get the opportunity or haven't yet because they haven't been given the chance. They might be too shy to perform, but with the spring concert, we're hopefully planning on doing it moving forward every year, and we can just give students the chance to showcase their skills in front of their peers.
When it came time to choose acts for the concert, the class chose what was familiar and decided to highlight their fellow classmates' talents and local Peoria musicians they admired.
We actually had an A&R team that was one of the groups, but surprisingly enough, a lot of the acts or the artists were all in our class, which we were fortunate enough that they're all very talented and they were all willing to participate.
While planning the concert, the one concern the students had on their minds was attendance. Yet attendance was much higher than expected, and the practicum class was very pleased with the outcome.
As these events go, you don't really know what the turnout's going to be, how everything's going to come together, but given how everything went tonight, it was awesome.
If you are interested in getting more information and knowing more about the concerts that the music department holds, you can follow Bradley's music department at Bradley U Music on Instagram. For BUTV News, I'm Maggie Goff.
The Heuser Gallery is open to students in the community to enjoy art from around the world. Instructor and artist Heather Ford has her exhibition on display now, and reporter Mallory Clark has more.
User experience and design instructor Heather Ford has recently unveiled her new exhibition in the Heuser Gallery entitled Transcending Moments. Ford has over 20 years of experience and has been a designer for Nike, Disney, NASA, and more. In 2021, Ford was awarded for her volunteerism in Peoria, and her experiences have culminated in this gallery.
When COVID hit, I do a lot of work in the community.
And so I thought I would spend this time focusing on making myself the best person that I can. So what I did was I recorded my brainwaves with a Muse headset for 1.5 years, and then I analyzed that data.
Drawing inspiration from spirituality and brainwaves, the gallery features 21 pieces and an interactive experience.
The large interactive piece that I created was after I had done this study, and I wanted to create something to have everyone feel as though they were in a tranquil state as well.
Ford's using her background in science and design to create a data visualization course at Bradley.
And what's great about data design and information is that it can also raise awareness in the community. So myself and some other faculty members from the comm department are going to get together, and we're making a course where students can collect data and then create a data visualization of that to inform the community of what is needed or what we are doing in a positive way. And when you visually convey something, it's very more impactful for people than just with numbers.
The exhibition will be on display until April 29th. For BUTV News, I'm Mallory Clark.
Mark Berger headed out to the Student Center to ask some students fun questions for the end of the semester.
Hello and welcome to Campus Convos. I'm your favorite hard-hitting journalist, Mark Berger, and today we're here at the Student Center to ask some of Bradley's students some real philosophical head-scratchers. What does water taste like?
Nothing, I guess.
Like hydrogen and oxygen mixed together.
Why do they call it chili if it's hot?
I guess it's just like a cool kind of food to eat at fairs, so it's like, it's chill.
Because it originated in Chile.
Do penguins have knees?
No. No, I don't think they do.
No.
If you get out of the shower clean, how does your towel get dirty?
What? Probably didn't wash yourself good enough.
What happened to Old Zealand, if New Zealand exists?
It got colonized.
Oh, there was no Old Zealand.
And do fish get thirsty?
Probably not, because they're in water, so they can just open their mouth.
Yes. No. They breathe.
Yes.
No, because they're in water.
Nah, they just be chilling.
Well, that's all the time we have this week for philosophical and intellectually stimulating conversation. Tune in next week for another episode of Campus Convos. For BUTV News, I'm Mark Berger.
In just a bit, Jake is back for another update on the weather.
And soon, some events to definitely check out before this semester ends.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go.
Now, if you weren't fortunate enough to hear my weather report from earlier in the stream, no need to fear, your weather forecast is here. Now, going back into the week, you can see that later this weekend we're going to have some rain starting on Thursday night into Friday, going through Saturday with the occasional thunderstorm. Now, that'll stop after that, and you'll see the temp rise after that. Now, the temp is going to rise a little more. We'll see a little temp drop beginning of next week, but after that, hopefully summer will be here to stay. Now, going forward into here, you can see that on Sunday we're going to be sunny, and it's also going to be rising up a little more into Monday afternoon. Overall, summer is going to be here to stay, and I cannot wait for more and more people to see how the rest of the semester will look. Now, coming up after the break, a few events to check out happening on campus this weekend.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Baby, you see, you're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go. Baby, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go.
There are still a few events happening around campus as the semester comes to a close. This Friday, April 29th, Active Minds will be hosting a De-Stress with Pets event. Visit Markin from 1:30 to 3:30 to hang out with some furry friends. Also coming up on April 29th, the Association of Latin American Students presents their Cinco de Mayo celebration. Celebrate the upcoming holiday through arts and crafts, food, and more. Head to Alumni Quad from 2 to 5 to see more. The last service on Saturday is April 30th. Join Bradley Serve from 8:30 to noon and spend the morning volunteering in the Peoria community. Transportation and lunch is provided. Make sure to sign up today.
Recently, BUTV's own Mark Berger had the opportunity to interview the Associate Chair of the Communication Department, Dr. Joshua Dickhouse, with an interesting twist. Mark and Dr. Dickhouse sat down with
ramping up
5 different hot sauces, each hotter than the last. The two tried their best to keep it together during the interview after trying different hot sauces. The interview covered Dr. Dickhouse's interest in sports, history, and his experiences here at Bradley's campus. Will the two be able to bring the heat, or will they chicken out? You can watch and find out for yourself on the BUTV YouTube channel in the second installment of Spicy Fellas. Well, that is all we got for you tonight on our last episode of BUTV News for the semester. From all of us here, I'm Nolan Beaumont.
I'm Megan Ruger-Smith. Thank you, seniors, for everything. We leave you tonight with a performance from Holden Kellogg. Have a great night.
Is it true? You've been feeling sort of low these days. Just don't have a place to go these days. Must be bringing you down. If it's so, then come on, give this lover boy a try. Help it sparkle right back in your eyes. What could you lose? Well, for one, her heart belongs to another, and no other heart will do. Is it wrong to think my love could really help you out? Just simply my stubborn heart, no doubt, rambling away. If it's not, then come on, give this lover boy a try.